You can't graduate from high school unless you have a college acceptance letter, a trade school acceptance letter, or you signed up to the United States military. That's what this guy, Governor Stitt from Oklahoma, has put in place as a bill. Now, before we go crazy on this, I understand the sentiment of what this guy and his administration are trying to do. They're trying to get kids on a successful path after high school. But these three options they put in place are not the only options available, and they're not even the best options available for most people anymore. So I think that there's some merit to saying that every high school should have a full-time admissions counselor, a full-time placement person whose role is to help kids in their junior and senior years plan out their college path, trade school path, military path, family business path, whatever they want to do. It should be those people's jobs that they meet with the student in junior and in senior year and help lay out a written path as to what that kid wants to do after high school. I think that's fantastic. But limiting to these three options doesn't make sense for most people in America anymore. For example, let's say that you were raised in a family business, and after high school, you're going to go work in that family business, maybe even take over that family business one day. Now, these options that he's proposing aren't necessarily the right ones for that person who's going to go directly into the workforce and has a path that's laid out for them that most people don't have the opportunity for. You're going to limit that person just because you've chosen the things that you think people can go into. Or, trade school's great. It's really beating college in a lot of ways. And I understand the military has great programs for a lot of people. But in addition to that, there's also things out there that are clearly winning right now, like Google certification programs for SEO and for coding. And these are 6 month programs that people are going in that are very inexpensive. They run for $50 a month through Coursera. And these programs people are landing jobs from $80,000 to $120,000 right after the 6 month certification program. Trade schools are just crushing college when you go to the debt to how much you can make ratio out of it. So I understand what they're trying to do. What they're trying to do is put a system in place where every kid that goes to their junior and senior year has a path. And I think that's super admirable. And I get the sentiment of what they're trying to do, but by limiting it to these three things, I think they're making a mistake. So I want to know what you guys think. Do you think he's right? Do you think these are the paths that we should have people coming out of high school on? Or do you think that there's a lot more availability and the choice is closer to something that I mentioned, where each kid actually just has a designated person that's in the school to be able to go through that can guide them on where they'll be able to go moving forward? I am leaning more towards the latter, but I want to know your thoughts.